Are collected, and the committee is going to give us a final report to see how far they have gone. We have also used traditional knowledge where the chief are consulted to give and define and show the areas that they were inhabited before. This has not been easy. We have done census, and I don't want to preempt the results of the census. The government of Southern Sudan has raised many concerns about census, the way they were done. And what we have seen and what we have experienced was that the first place when they sent in the forms, they sent only 2 million forms in Southern Sudan. And it is like a predetermining that the population in Southern Sudan is 2 million. So they're sending 2 million forms. And the funny enough was that areas who could not read Arabic, they took Arabic forms to those areas. Areas that who could not read English, they took those English forms to the areas that could not read English. That was the first confusion. And then the committees which were supposed to go and register did not have the facilities to reach out to many people. Leave alone, even in Juba, those of us who are in Juba were not counted. And we wait to see the results, but we raised a big concerns on those census when they were conducted. And recently somebody hinted that Khartoum population is larger than the population in Southern Sudan. And we wait to see those results. But we have done it because we are committed to implement the CPA. The other issues that has been one of the problems also, it is transparency in oil. We have been talking about 50% of oil that is supposed to go to Southern Sudan. But we do not know what are the wells in Southern Sudan that we are dividing, because we don't divide the oil in the north, we only divide the oil in the south and the resources in the south. Up to today, Southern Sudan do not know how many wells. Southern Sudan do not know how many barrels are produced a day. We do not know how they are transported and sold out. We don't know what is the actual price, because none of Southern Sudanese members is participating effectively in those areas, and especially in the production area. As you know, Unity States, part of it, there has been a lot of renaming, and the renaming has gone even deep inside Southern Sudan. And I think even the area of Twitch, where our president is a neighbor to, is in the area of Boreal, because of discovery of oil, is almost now being the border of the Southern Sudan and the north. And every time there is a discovery of oil, the boundaries move in to curve those areas to the north. And that is the situation which has been happening since during Nimeri time. Now, this has been a crisis between the SPLM and the National Congress to establish the facts that what is happening with the oil. So there is lack of transparency in sharing the oil revenues. The other situation is we have been having also the issue of elections. It took us a year to be able to come up with an election bill that is acceptable to everybody. It has been a difficult process because SPLM believed that those wars which were fought, it was because there were a lot of more marginalization, there is oppression, there is exclusion, and we did not have a proper system that embraced the diversity of Sudan. And in the election bill, there were many issues that were put to be a stumbling block, so that when we have the bill, it will even be more excluding the Sudanese people. One of the areas was clearly that any party that do not meet a threshold of 10% will not participate in election. And the SPLM said that the transition we are in and the peace agreement says that this is a national exercise, and all Sudanese are free to participate in this election. Now, that was one of the contested area that in the bill we could not allow to go ahead. The other one was a representation of women and political parties. The SPLM, in its constitution, and also in Southern Sudan's constitution, and in the national constitution, there is affirmative action of 25%. The mechanism to arrive into those percentage, National Congress decided to say that it is only the party that wins, even you win with one vote, then you take it all. And the constituency must be a national one. And honestly, all of us who have been sitting outside Sudan, I don't know how many national faces do we have to be qualified to compete at the national level. And in the first place, what is the definition of national? And the national, I think it's come from constituencies and it comes from the states where we form a national government or national assembly. And I think at the end, we managed to agree that we reduce the threshold so that all the political parties have a chance. We have proportional representation so that small parties can also participate in the National Assembly. And we said that constituencies should be states where people are known and where the majority of people are. And that we have the election bill signed. And what is left now is to have a national election commission. This is one area that all Sudanese has to pay attention to. Our experience in our neighboring countries, in Kenya, in Zimbabwe now, and other places, shows that if you don't have a credible election commission, the results and the consequences are going to be greater than not even having the election. So we are saying that the election commission must be vetted by Sudanese. Those members who are going to be there, they must be people with integrity, people that are accepted by Sudanese people, and it should not be a monopoly of political parties that will bring in their own people, and later on we have bad election. We want to ensure that the international observers are a part of this process to make sure that it is free and fair. The SPLM also feel that the Sudanese civil society must monitor those elections. This is the situations we are in right now in establishing the National Election Commission. But the questions raised is, these elections, they are called national election. If Darfur is in crisis, if Darfur is still bleeding, what type of elections are we going to have? Just the same thing.